Hey guys, Metal Viking 82 here, back to show off some more plunder that I've acquired over the last little while. This giant stack that I am going to be going through today is, again, you can see Zeus over here keeping me company. What are you growling for? I'm talking about you. But anyway, this is all the stuff that I got from my yearly trip to JL Records. I usually go there once a year for my birthday. Usually trade in some stuff and end up spending a lot of money in there. And this year it got a little postponed because my mom had eye surgery the day before my birthday. And then every time we tried to go after that, once she was better, it just stormed like crazy. And we weren't going to travel next because it's almost a 2-hour drive. And we finally got to go. We just got up and went. Weather cooperated. Tragically, though, the owner, I found out like the day before I was supposed to go there, had passed away earlier in that week. And I always liked seeing that guy, and he loved seeing me come in there because he knew I was going to spend a lot of money, and he usually gave me some really good deals. So still found a lot of cool stuff. Didn't get as good a deals as I usually do on my trade-ins, but it is what it is. Kicking things off, we have the debut album from Wolfgang Van Halen called Mammoth. Hard rock out of Los Angeles, California, been around since 2015. It should be, no surprise, this is started by Wolfgang Van Halen, as I said, while he was still in Van Halen before they disbanded, and here he handles all the vocals and the instruments on this thing. Of course, son of legendary, the late, great Eddie Van Halen. This is his debut full-length album, like I said, put out by EX1 in 2021. I've only gotten to hear a couple of songs off of this, but I really dug what I heard, so I'm looking forward to check out the rest of it. Next up, Leather with We Are the Chosen. Heavy metal out of Cincinnati, Ohio. Been around since 1989. This is her third solo full-length album put out by Steamhammer just last year, and I have been meaning to get this for a little while now. I have her other two albums. In fact, her second full-length I actually bought directly off of her and got signed by her, so that was really cool. But, of course, Leather Leone, legendary vocalist, was in Chastain. Loved everything I've heard from her so far, so I cannot wait to spin this one. Got a couple of Indiana metal releases in here. Normally, I would show these in an Indiana metal update, but since it was from JL Records, I just decided to leave them in here. One I've been after for a while. I wish I should have got this years ago when I discovered them. But we have the debut from Wolftooth. Heavy / doom metal out of Richmond, Indiana, been around since 2017. This is their debut full-length album, put out by Black Seed Records in 2018. And then this is actually a Ripple Music reissue from 2019. I actually saw these guys live, and I think I've got a t-shirt of these guys somewhere in my closet or somewhere, but really solid stuff. I'm trying to go back and pick up everything. They've only released several, like 3 or 4 albums, and I'm just about got them all. Next up, this was a total surprise to find in there, but this is Lorngard with Of Tales to Come. Symphonic power metal out of Indianapolis, Indiana. Been around since 2004, though they are currently on hold. This is their debut EP, independently put out by the band in 2005. And this was so weird because I always, when I'm getting ready to listen to something, I look through the booklet, and come to find out, it is actually autographed by all but like one member of the band. So how fucking cool is that? In fact, one of them, I'm trying to think, might be this one here. He is sadly no longer with us. I forget when he passed away, but that was really cool to find that. It was signed and everything. This actually features Veilcast drummer Christopher Cruz. I don't know why I said Nick. Christopher Cruz played in this band. So, yeah, very cool stuff. All right. Next up, this is one been trying to find. And it's so funny because they had the reissue that just came out of this live release, and then they had the original pressing right next to it for just like a few dollars more, because, of course, when it's out of print, it's usually a lot more expensive. It wasn't too bad, though, but, I was like, get the reissue, which I will eventually get because it's me, or spend a few dollars more and get the original pressing because, I am a slut for original pressings. So I went with the original pressing. And that is Union with Live in the Galaxy. Hard rock band from Los Angeles, been around since 1997. This features former Kiss guitarist Bruce Kulick on guitar, and also features John Corabi, formerly of Motley Crue, on vocals. This was a show that was recorded opening for Cinderella. Can't exactly remember when. I couldn't even hardly find out when this was actually recorded, but this is their second release after their debut album. So they released a debut album, and then they released a live album. But yeah, this is released by Deadline Records in 1999. It's been out of print. So like I said, when I saw an original pressing, I had to jump on it. Same thing for this one here, because this is an original pressing. They just reissued this. Yeah, this is Cinderella with Live at the Key Club. And Cinderella, hard rock, blues rock, some called them glam metal because of their debut album, but pretty much after that album, they changed their look and didn't really have anything to do with glam. But yeah, they're out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, active between 1983 and 2014 when they officially split up. This was put out by Deadline Music in 1999. Recorded at the Key Club in Hollywood, California, October 2nd and 3rd of 1998. Do love me some Cinderella. Really looking forward to checking them out live on here. This one I was really excited to find because I've been trying to find a copy of this, and the ones on eBay are a little pricey. But this is AC/DC with TNT. Of course, AC/DC really needs no introduction. Hard rock from Sydney, New South Wales, Australia. Been around since 1973. This is actually their second full-length album, originally released only in Australia, along with High Voltage. This was put out by Albert in 1975. Yeah, I've been wanting this for so long, and then what I love about JL Records is they get a lot of import stuff, and when I saw this in there, I just immediately snagged it. But it's got some really good songs on it. It's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll. The Jack, Livewire, TNT. I mean, just some really cool songs on here. Love this band. Next up, we have Rough Cut with their self-titled heavy / glam metal out of Los Angeles, California. Been around since 1981. This is the band's debut full-length album, put out by Warner Brothers in 1985. This is a Rock Candy reissue from 2016. Yeah, I heard about this band from, I forget where I had heard about them, and I checked them out, and I really dug what I heard, and I've actually had this on my Amazon wish list, so when I saw it in the bins there, I was just like, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and buy it. Why wait and order from Amazon when it's sitting here right in my face? So, yeah, I have not had a chance to listen to the full thing, but I have listened to several songs off of it before, really dug what I heard, so had to pick that up. Next up, finally got something from this band. I've been meaning to do that for a while, which seems to be the case with me a lot. I mean to pick things up from bands, and I just never get around to it. But this is The Runaways with Queens of Noise. Hard rock band from Los Angeles, active between 1975 and 1979. Obviously, they are currently split up, but you got Lita Ford and Joan Jett out of this band, so can't really complain. But this is their second full-length album, put out by Mercury in 1977. This is a Cherry Red Records reissue from 2003. Have not had a chance to spin this one, which I can say for a lot of these, because, like I said, been a little busy with work and then other things in my life, just kind of keep me from listening to music as much as I want here lately. But yeah, very cool to finally have some Runaways in the collection. The next two come from the same band, and that is the Outlaws, a band that I've really started to get into here lately. They are a southern rock band out of Tampa, Florida, been around since 1967. Really slowly trying to get their collection completed. I've only got like maybe a handful to get, and I'll finally have everything. But starting things off, we have In the Eye of the Storm. And this is the band's fifth full-length album, put out by Arista in 1979. This is a Magic Records reissue from 2003, and it's actually a 2-on-1, which I am not a huge fan of, but this version itself is also out of print. So went ahead and picked it up. I was like, I normally hate 2-on-1s, but if this is the only way I can get this one for right now, I'm going to do it just so I mark it off and say that I have it. But this actually comes back with Hurry Sundown, which is the band's was it their third full-length album from 1977. So kind of odd that they, you know, back to their, what is it, their fifth album with their third album, but it is what it is. It's still in the collection. That's the important thing. And then we have Diablo Canyon. And this is their 9th full-length album put out by Blues Bureau International back in 1994. Have not had a chance to listen to this one yet either, but, you know, I will get around to it. This next one, this is actually one that I've seen a couple people on Facebook talking about this, and even my buddy John from Thralls of Metal, Jammin' John, said that this album was really good, and I've been trying to find an original copy because it's hard to find. I mean, this is out of print, and I think even the reissues are out of print, but this is Glass Casket with We Are Gathered Here Today. Metalcore band from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Been around since 2004. This is their debut full-length album put out by Abacus Recordings in 2004. And as luck would have it, this is like, I think only had like 2 or 3 CDs in their section. And luckily enough, this was one of them. And this is the one I wanted the most. So probably going to go back and at some point and get the others. But yeah, this is absolutely killer. If you've not heard it, go check it out. Next up, some more metalcore here. This is Ginger with Cloud Factory. Metalcore, as I said, out of the Ukraine. Been around since 2008. This is their debut full-length album, originally put out by the band in 2014. This is a 2018 reissue by Napalm Records. And some people like to bash on Ginger, saying they're overhyped or this or that, but I really dig Ginger, so it's really cool to finally have this in the collection. I think this actually completes my collection on them. I could be wrong. I need to look it up after I'm done with this video. Next up, Mortiscald with Surface. Death metal band out of Milwaukee. Cannot talk. I am so sorry. Out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. There we go. Been around since 1990. This is their 4th full-length album, put out by System Shock in 1997. This particular version, though, is a reissue put out in 1998 by Pavement Music. Love Mortiscald, a band that I am seriously lacking in my collection. I've got a couple already, so I can add this one to the collection. I really need to see what other ones I need and try to complete that as soon as possible. And last but not least, we have a 2023 release here. That is the brand new one from Cadaver with The Age of the Offended. Started off as a death metal band, now kind of more of like a blackened death metal / thrash metal band out of Norway. Been around since 1988. This is their 6th full-length album put out by Nuclear Blast just this year. Have not heard anything off of it, but I really dug their last one, and have like a couple others from them that I really dig. So of course, saw this in the bin, had to pick it up, and yeah, that is going to do it. Thank you guys so much for watching and subscribing, and until next time, stay brutal.